What's up, YouTube? Tim Moose here. With the Transformers films, being pretty popular, in the box office, maybe not all with people, but with the Transformers films, of course, I'm arriving with a new one coming out next month. One other toy franchise that has been trying to get films made has been the GI Joe franchise. Now, of course, they tried to do a whole new GI Joe film back in 2009 with GI Joe: Rise of Cobra, which I did not mind there. Of course, they follow that up with the sequel GI Joe Retaliation with Dwayne Johnson, Bruce Willis. That was also directed by John Chu, who also just gave us In the Heights. They also tried to relaunch it with Snake Eyes last year with Henry Golding, and yeah, we saw how that one turned out. But one question has remained: like, will they actually ever, come back and do another GI Joe film, or is the franchise dead and everything? Well, looks like another GI Joe film. It's kind of in the cards. Transformers: Rise of the Beast producer Lorenzo Bonaventura said that despite the struggles, conversations are going behind the scenes to bring the real American hero back to theirs. Snake Eyes, which was meant to launch a new era of G.I. Joe films with the much delayed G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant move on back to make room for the reboot. However, with the struggles of the spin-off and Ever Vigilante still up in the air, there's rooms to wonder whether the franchise would be suited to return to television. Now, back in 2021, if you guys remember, Hasbro and Paramount even had a series in the works centered on Lady J that would link back to larger worlds established in the film. As the Bonaventura notes, however, that never came to fruition. Uh, it seems for now. It seems Paramount is forgoing the two pronged approach and is interested and instead focus on bringing GI Joe back in some form, using what was written for the pilot to inform future films. He ends up explaining. Here's what he ended up saying. We actually developed a pilot with Amazon that he's of course this is what he ends up telling Collider. We actually developed a pilot with Amazon. This was before Paramount Plus, just as Paramount Plus was coming in. It didn't pan out. We are in a lot of conversation about what to do with it as a film, and so I would have to say most likely we're going to see that come to fruition. How soon? How soon is always impossible to say. For a long time, there were no active conversations. There's a lot going on right now. So, yeah, now, I don't know. Could another G.I. Joe movie come out? I mean, the films did went down quality. Let me pull up G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, box office. G.I. Joe's Rise to Cobra box office back in 2009 was 320.5 million. G.I. Joe Retaliation box office, that was, of course, 375.7 million. That's not too so bad, but I mean, of course, you had a big star like Dwayne Johnson, who was still, at the time pretty big there. Then we go to Snake Eyes. Now, granted, this despite Snake Eyes not being a good film at all, let's take this with a grain of salt that Snake Eyes did got released around when like movie theaters was trying reopen it, we're trying to set you reopen and everything and all, but it still managed to make 40.1 million. Yeah, did not do so well there. So I don't know. Maybe a Transformers Rise of Beast comes out. Maybe if that's a hit, maybe they could definitely move forward with another GI Joe film. There's even been rumors about maybe a GI Joe and Transformers crossover, which hey, I'll be down for that there. So whether another one gets up to the speed, maybe one with Dwayne Johnson coming back, that would be cool. Maybe not Channing Tatum, because if you guys remember the last film, yeah, Channing Tatum was barely in that film at all, and we all know why. So, I mean, I'm definitely down to see a whole new GI Joe film. Maybe, hopefully, one better than Snake Eyes, but we'll see what goes on down the line. Anyway, let me leave you guys. What are your thoughts on the possibility of another GI Joe film? Were you ever a fan of the GI Joe franchise? Do you think another GI Joe movie could possibly work? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is me signing.